Oh, wow. Hi. I'm glad you found me. I'm digging. This is the vibe. And this is a continuation of Enki being possessed by Arcons. And I, didn't want to say this in the first video because this is a continuation. And why the continuation is because on the one hand, in my video, I said they all went together, and then I said they were separated and they couldn't see each other. So, how could two of them leave? And how can one say to the other, go back? I also mentioned a tool that Enki had given, not just to the one that managed to ultimately get out and confirm that help was needed, even though they didn't know if this was going to be successful, because nobody's ever come back out. Like how the person did is beyond everybody. They are assumed dead, and that would be Enki and the crew. So I do talk about this tool as well, but I don't mention it as I'm telling you. Um, um, what drove Enki to go mad prior to this? Their confidence was really high. Enki's confidence and his crew was really high because they've gone and they've conquered other planets and established other planets, and not only to run and rule per se, but they had a contribution that they could give other planets because they liked, I know it sounds crazy, planting. They believed that planets should be able to sustain themselves. Now, he wanted to go to an area that was really taboo, is taboo, will be forever taboo, despite everybody's advice. So while he was getting everybody's advice and making up his own mind, him being a scientist thought forward and thought, okay, I have to give something to my men that is going to win them over what might be apprehensive. They might be apprehensive about knowledge, or I should say apprehensive regarding the journey. That is more like it. And so, keeping that in mind, the fact that he is going to have to give his men something. He was brilliant. He still is a brilliant scientist. What he did was created this tool that would illuminate sound. So while this thing was on, it was capable of illuminating sound, like blue hologram notes, neon. They look neon, blue and or red and yellow or green, and they each meant something. And so while they were in that darkness, they did have that even though they couldn't see each other, they could see the faint luminous light that sound gave off. And he was brilliant, and talking about planning ahead and planning for all obstacles. And like I said, there was so much negative feedback, and this was a journey he really wanted to do. For everybody's well-being, he created these tools. And so as they dispersed and they launched and went off toward their journey, at this point in time, he introduced the crew to the divine tool that he made, that if by chance they should be separated, if by chance they needed help, if for any reason at all, they would still be able to communicate and understand according to what luminous light they saw. And this thing turned on almost as if soon as your body went into panic, soon as you felt stress, like this real stress, this tool would turn on. And I thought that was brilliant, like absolutely brilliant, to think up of a tool that would do this. The other I wanted to talk about, which I pretty much said the exact same thing, is through this luminous tool and following the light from, from where it came, it eventually took you to your destination. In this case, it would be each other. So that in itself was a real miracle, to be able to navigate in such darkness and being suspended and only being able to, like I said, hear your thoughts, hear your heartbeat. So right off the hop, some that were completely against this tool, or really, they were apprehensive, they second guessed their ability. They understood right then and there, wow, it's a good thing he really did create this. And what was more impressive is it turned on by how much stress your body was feeling. Now, the reason I did it this way is because I wanted you to have a real understanding of just how brilliant he was, rather than being a reckless warmonger looking to conquer and appease his own ego. Because they're being put across this way. Both him and his brother are put across this way. And believe it or not, more of a family man than one would guess, ever. He also felt responsible for other families, men of his crew and their families, how long they would be away from home, how much they're needed. I know it sounds berserk, but somebody's got to say it. Somebody's got to say it. So I wanted to bring I'm going to say, I can't say more human because that's not correct. It gives us humans a better understanding as to how they are governed, how they find resolution. Like I said, these things just clung on to each and every one of them. And unfortunately, Enki got the worst, and I believe because he was reluctant. He wanted to go deeper, and getting anybody out. The fact that somebody made it out to begin with is a miracle. And the fact that they, like, this wasn't an easy task. This didn't just happen in what we call 24 hours or 48 hours or 72 hours. This took nothing under an hour time, a week, 2 weeks, a month almost even, because they were at the point of giving up. And if it wasn't for that luminous tool that he created, where it showed his real emotions. In that darkness, however faint his light was, you could see it. You know, I guess maybe the expression, don't let your light go out. I never thought of that till now, but it really makes sense if you look at that experience and coming up with that question. And that is, don't do so much. You can let, yeah, you can't, yeah. So all my yeah, I didn't forget. I did want people to, and I do want people to think about it, because his madness, very real. He no longer recognized family, friend or foe, counsel. Yeah, he just, they're evil. And believe you me, possession is also very real. I associate them with black matter, antimatter, I guess they call it. I associate the Arcons and antimatter because they're in the same family. And like I said, you don't have to believe me. The proof will eventually be in the pudding. It is now. And blessed you come across it. Awesome. That knowledge. It was a good thing. It was a really good thing that they were able to save him and a crew. And like I said, being possessed by either or Archons or black antimatter, it's very rare that you make it out alive. You know that. If you don't, check it out. It's there on YouTube. You can check it out. It's a living. They're both living, and they're both cannibals, and they're both demons. They're the real demons. Not really, but they might as well be. But those two definitely are related. Archons and black antimatter. Okay, so understand that it really took everything. Like, people still think that battle is still needing to happen and somebody still needs to come out a winner. No, these wars are getting mixed. All these stories are all getting mixed up, and people are having a hard time deciphering who's who and what's what. Okay, we'll give you all those answers. I'll try my very best. Again, I'm digging. I'm making this really short. This is the vibe. Share it. I hope you like it. And subscribe. It won't hurt. It won't hurt. Ciao, amore. Ciao, ciao.